Hey everyone, have a here bro, on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be discussing the upcoming Part 2 Yellow Coin LR that's dropping for the April celebration. And no, it's not an April Fool's joke. We're going to be logically figuring out what this unit could be. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And I know I'm a little bit early in doing this, and usually I'm late to the game, but I figured I'd begin this discussion, talk about the possibilities of what the Part 2 LR is going to be after the Perfect Cell Dokkan Festival exclusive, and it should drop around the 15th or the 17th. The 17th to probably more likely being the fact that the banner does go away for the Cell, and that should transition into the Part 2 LR, and then after that we will go into the Golden Week celebration, right? So I think the 17th is the correct date. I just put the 15th to 17th just to kind of hedge my bets in terms of when this unit might actually drop. So given that we know a Part 2 LR is going to be coming, and this is going to be the first Yellow Coin LR for 2025, what our expectations should be and how I logically try to figure this out is using the past to predict the future. So let's take a stroll down memory lane. And no, we're not trying to crack any codes. We're not trying to do anything, but figuring it out logically. Taking a stroll down memory lane. So these are the past 7 years of the April or the end of March into April Dokkan Festival exclusives, beginning of April, and then the Part 2 Yellow Coin LRs following it. And of course, last year we ended up getting Topo, and then surprisingly, we're like, oh, why are we getting Captain Ginyu? Same thing went from in 2023, we ended up getting Kale and then got Super Boo. Okay, what was that all about? This made a lot more sense here in Raditz and the Saiyan Saga Goku and Piccolo, because of course they fought right in the beginning of Z. This one we'll talk about, didn't make any sense, and then these were the final three from all the way from 2024 to 2018, right? I have 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, and 18. So there are some instances of patterns that we have to look at and to try to, again, predict what units might be available for us in terms of the Part 2 LR for this year's. So looking in the last 3 years, the interesting thing about this was I was for sure, because of the God Topo coming out, was this was going to be a tournament participants celebration, but it ended up being actually a special pose celebration. So what I mean by that is we had different leader skills, of course, leader skills here, and the leader skill that was actually more dominant in terms of correlating with the Part 2 LR was actually special pose, because this is more of us as a special pose unit only, right? You're not going to run this unit anywhere else except for units that have special pose on it. So that was kind of surprised, but you kind of see the similarities in terms of the pattern here, where Kale, Berserk Kale, I thought it was going to be a Universe 6 celebration, but it turned out to be a Transformation Boost celebration because they shared that category within the leader skill. So the leader skill and category seemingly has some sort of relevancy and connection. And of course, this is a direct connection being a part of the Saiyan Saga. So that's kind of the first initial pattern, especially in the last 3 years. Makes a lot of sense that we might continue that. But here are some hiccups in terms of the April celebration here. Whereas in this way, 24, 23, 22, 2021, none of it made sense. All right, so Peppy Gals and Majibu, I forget even, Defenders of Justice and Peppy Gals, I think, was the leader skill here. And then we had Tapion Minosha. So not only that the category leader skill did not match up, all right, there's no connection there, but neither had any categories that were connected, right? If you look at the categories for Tapion and categories for Videl, no similarities at all. So only similarity was the type advantage, and I'm not thinking that that's how they connected. I don't even know. This was just very goofy. A big question mark here in terms of that. And then just, you know, there could be a possibility of either of these Easy Yang in this celebration here as well, because they're old and we need to Easy those units. But let's move on then to the remaining portions of the years here, whereas just like Videl and Tapion, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken did not have a leader skill that connected with Vegeta and Nappa, right? So the leader skill didn't connect, Universe Survival Saga and Representative Universe 7, but they do at least connect with some sort of category similarity when in terms of pure Saiyans. Right, that at least there's some connectivity there. The years previously to that, so 2019 and 2018 here, Universe 6 connectivity, and then Movie Bosses connectivity, right? So when you look at this pattern, right, it makes sense to say, okay, the Part 2 LR has a high chance of having some sort of leader skill connectivity to the Dokkan Festival exclusive. The only times that didn't happen was in 2021 and 2020 with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and Videl. Now, there's only one time that didn't happen where the categories, none of it was similarity. So I would say this is going to be more of an outlier. And then there's 2 times within the last 7 years that we had direct connectivity, which would be the Saiyan Saga with Raditz, Goku, and Piccolo, and then Hit and Kel and Caulifla, right, with Universe 6. So there's a little bit of precedence in that, so we might talk about an opportunity or a character that would have direct connectivity to the cell. So given this information here, let's talk about the prediction now, right? Let's look at what options do we have. So when we have to look at in terms of first is the category leader skill connectivity, right? So we're going to look at that first, and we have 2 options. We have tournament participants and worldwide chaos. I'm not looking at the 50% boost because that's not the main leader skill, right? These are the 2 main leader skills that Cell has, and these are the 2 that we're going to look at first. So in terms of tournament participants, these are the LRs that we currently have in tournament participants. And there's one that kind of jumped out at me. I'm like, okay, there's a lot that have EZA. There's, a lot of old units that, already have EZA. There's a few that haven't EZA yet, that they should pretty soon. For example, this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. We have this right here in the Hit and Goku here. And then, of course, the Gohan and Goku one here, which kind of have some connectivity to the Cell Saga. So ultimately, right, I was like, okay, they might not repeat any of the units that we have on here. So I don't think the Part 2 LR is going to be a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or even a Super Saiyan 1 Gohan. But we might find that there might be an EZA. So I think all three of these might have a possibility of another EZA that we might get in Part 2. And that would be really nice because that would help out this unit because it is the entrance animation, it is connected to tournament participants, right? So having another one of those on the team would be very valuable. So look out for these 3 as opportunities of EZAing. But there's one that kind of jumped out. I go, you know what? This kind of makes a little sense here. I don't think it's going to be a Gohan. Possibly there might be a Goku, but I'm going to go first guest here in tournament participants, which it probably won't make that much money. But if you look at the past, there's not much in terms of money makers on this Part 2 Yellow Coin LR anyway. And technically there's only one that's been actually really good, and that's Kel and Caulifla. Everyone else is kind of, mid to say the least, right? So it's going back over here. So I'm going to first have one guess of it could be a standalone Yellow Coin LR hit. I think that would make some sense. It's not directly correlated in terms of Cell and the Android Cell Saga, but it is correlated in tournament participants, and it's not a huge moneymaker, and we've seen that that's kind of not the standard when it comes to the Part 2 LR in April. So that's going to be my first guess here, and I think there's something that makes sense in terms of that. Now, the other 2 I think has a higher chance because we don't have those units as any kind of summonable LR, and that is Oob and Krillin. Now, Krillin, it can be World Tournament Krillin. It could be Cell Games Krillin, because technically he was at Cell Games, right? So I don't think we even have a Cell Games Krillin, which technically would kind of tournament participants, or Tournament of Power Krillin, right? So he's been a part of many different sagas, and it's a shame, right? I say this many, many times. It is a shame that Krillin, best friend of the main protagonist of Dragon Ball, has not had a summonable LR. He has a free-to-play LR. He's had some summonable units, like support units, but neither does he have a Dokkan Festival exclusive or a summonable LR. I think that's atrocious. All right, so hopefully he gets some love and we can get a Krillin, whether it's DB Saga, whether it's Tournament of Power, or whether it's if they connected with Cell games. I think that is a nice possibility. The other one would be Oob. I think Oob is another individual where you're like, okay, he doesn't have much either. So I'm actually going to switch pages here. So like I mentioned before in Krillin, right, he has an LR. It's a free-to-play LR, but look at all the other units that you're like, okay, yeah, he has a support unit here, world tournament unit. Yeah, it's pretty light in terms of really good Krillin units, and I think Krillin deserves more. But look at Oob, right? And I'm talking about Oob Youth because technically GT Oob, like the adult Oob or teen Oob, would not be tournament participants, right? G2 Oob would not be in any kind of tournament. I don't think so, right? So it would be Oob Youth, and there's really we don't have a summonable unit, technically speaking, right, for Oob. And hey, that's a interesting character. We're 10 years into this game, and it's just odd to me that we don't have I don't know if he deserves a Dokkan Festival exclusive, but a Yellow Coin LR, absolutely. So I think these two could be good options to have. I think could be somewhat of a moneymaker. Interesting units, a little bit different, right, rather than the same old. And I like this option, right? I like this option. So anyway, so that kind of concludes my tournament participants. Let's go ahead and move on to Worldwide Chaos, whereas really there's only one option here, guys. One option. Kid Buu. It's a meme these days, right? It's like, okay, yeah, Kid Buu's gonna show up, right? Kid LR, Yellow Coin LR, not Dokkan Festival exclusive LR, not anything. It's just LR Kid Buu with the legendary election. Do I have that somewhere? I don't know if I have that somewhere. I did that in my April Fool's video. So for those who haven't seen my April Fool's video, here we go. So I'm going to post this right here. Legendary election, right? There's only 2 units that don't have the LR, and this was created like in 2018 or something like that. 2017 or something like that. And Kid Buu and then Master Roshi with Kid Goku and Kid Krillin has not technically got their LRs. Crazy. So I'm not even going to look at any other Worldwide Chaos unit. It's Kid Buu or bust. If they do a Worldwide Chaos unit that's connected to this Dokkan Festival exclusive cell, and it's not Kid Buu, shame on them. We'll never get a LR Kid Buu then, if that is the case, right? So that's my only choice for Worldwide Chaos. All right, so there you have it there for Worldwide Chaos. So a little bit more options in tournament participants, but Worldwide Chaos, we're looking just at Kid Buu. Now let's talk about the connectivity again. Let's talk about the connectivity of the Raditz with the Piccolo and Goku. And then we have the Cell with, I'm sorry, not the Cell, the Hit with Kale and Caulifla. So this would then be Cell connected with whomever. Well, I would say the one that would make the most sense, but it'll be very tiresome to see another Goku. But this would be Super Saiyan Goku, sacrificing himself, for trying to kill Cell here before it comes back as Super Perfect Cell. And we really have this awful card art. This is the card art that we have in Dokkan. Some of you guys probably don't even have this unit here. It does not look good, but that is the card. That is the what it looks like, and it'll be a nice refresher to have it. Yellow coin, another Yellow Coin, Goku LR. Sure, it is the Goku show, but that would make a lot of sense in referencing. So this would be also tournament participants. This would also be fully connected to Cell, and it would make at least somewhat of sense for another Super Saiyan Goku as a Yellow Coin LR. Actually, do we have a lot of Super Saiyan Gokus as Yellow Coin LRs? I actually don't think so. Just we have a lot of Gokus, right? But base form Super Saiyan Goku. We have the Go Crew, right? But that's a Carnival unit. We have another Carnival. We have Gumku Carnival unit. Oh, we have Gumku, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and kind of break this all down here, right? So these are my predictions. Some of you guys might have some different ones. I'm early to this right now, right? I'm very early to the prediction side of things. So we might get clues, you know, maybe in a week or so to kind of figure out what we might end up actually getting. But maybe you get to hear it here first, right? I'm going to either go with Cell, Oob, Krillin, Kid Buu, and then bye guys, Goku. These are my final 5 choices. Let me know if you guys agree with some of these. Let me know if you guys have a different top 5 or top 10 or whomever that you're gonna guess and predict on. But hopefully you guys enjoy this video here, and if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.